Hi, so today I'm at the mail house and I figured this would be a great time to talk about SCFs and consolidation. And what I mean by consolidation is in the new plan for the US Postal Service, they are adding another layer to the mail delivery process. Well, let me rephrase that. They're adding a layer in order to take one away, or they're shifting the delivery process. So typically, you have your area's SCF. The SCF is like the nucleus of your zip code area. Your first three digits of your zip code are designating the SCF. And that SCF handles all the zip codes starting with those first three digits. Now, what the Postal Service has been doing long before DeJoy started this process of consolidation is they were already consolidating into carrier annexes at certain facilities. Rather than having mail delivered from individual post offices near an SCF, they have carrier annexes where up to 10 zip codes could be serviced through the SCF. Also, areas where there's larger post offices could be urban, may not be an SCF, but it could be a large post office. That post office may handle more than one zip code. And the idea here is, if you've done EDDM already and you've driven to multiple DDUs to have your cards dropped, you understand that it's a pain in the butt to drive all over the place to these DDUs and drop these cards. And the post office is kind of has the same feeling. They don't like having to take trucks delivered to all of these small DDUs, your local post offices, and then have the carriers deliver from these little post offices all over the place. They would much rather have carriers deliver from these carrier annexes where they can coordinate mail better. They don't have to divide the mail. I mean, they still have to divide it for the routes. But they don't have to truck it to all these little locations. They still have to pick it up. In the plan, your local post office is going to become a retail postal center where you buy stamps, packaging materials, get your certified and registered letters, and you can drop mail off, and it will be picked up sometime at the end of the day by a truck. But so it's going to still require a truck going to the DDU, but it will not require all these small operations to deliver, all the mail carriers and the trucks being at every single DDU. And in the end run, it'll make things a lot simpler. Currently, now these places, when they actually build them, will be called sorting and delivery centers, SDNCs, and that's a little bit further down the road. I mean, I believe they're starting to do that, but mainly they're taking advantage of the facilities they already have. So you're going to see larger post offices, SCFs, take on these roles. Sometimes it's an add-on building. More often than not, they're just taking advantage of existing space at larger facilities. So that part's going to move fairly quickly, a lot quicker than just adding on totally new structures. And it's actually been going on for a number of years now, way before the DeJoy master plan to streamline the Postal Service. Now, the advantage here, if you're a self-mailer for EDDM, is one facility can handle multiple zip codes. I see some designated up to 10 zip codes. However, they're not all active. Mostly I see 4 to 5 zip codes. So the EDDM rule says you can mail up to 5,000 pieces per zip code per day. And what this means is if you are at a SCF that has a carrier annex that handles 5 zip codes, you can drop 5,000 times 5. You can drop 25,000 pieces technically at that annex, at that DDU. Like our DDU here is in the front of an SCF. It's an SCF, but the front side is a post office that serves 5 zip codes. So EDDM Retail, for a lot of people in a lot of areas, and it's kind of weird because inner city, or city, where there's some larger post offices, they're going to consolidate there. And then when you get way out into more rural areas, there's going to be some consolidation there. It may not be quite as intense, but it's more the intermediate zones that aren't going to be consolidated quite yet, I think, from what I'm seeing. Because they're trying to prevent the outer areas from remaining too scattered. They want to consolidate those. There's so many little post offices, and some of those may stand because they're just so far out. They're handled not by actual USPS employees, but by postal contractors. Those probably won't change. And those, in effect, already have. I mean, because those carriers are getting the mail from a carrier annex, but they're independent contractors. Different situation. So for the EDDM self-mailer, this consolidation is actually a good thing. You can take advantage of that and expand easily. The requirement is that each mailing still must be prepared as a separate mailing with a limit of 5,000 pieces. But it's good. Now, in a different point of view, when you're working within an SCF, ideally, you want to use a mail house. And a mail house will mail your EDDM commercially using a permit, and you can use their permit. You don't have to have your own permit. And when they do that, you can mail unlimited. You don't have that hard 5,000 ceiling that kind of drives you crazy here when you're doing retail, because you can get really close, but you can't quite get 5,000 pieces, and you don't have that limit. If you have 5,100, it doesn't matter. You can easily do 10, 20,000 with no headache. It's simple. So it's very easy to expand your area. We mail, 50, 100,000 EDDMs here. It's not unusual. The other advantage with the mail house is you get the local rate at any zip code serviced by your SCF. Plus, when you're mailing commercially, you get discounts. You get discounts on the piece for how it is packaged. You get discounts for marriage mail, which is any piece that has 4 or more advertisers on it. The Postal Service offers an incentive for that. Effectively, you can get your postage down to roughly 20 cents, just under 21 cents. So there's savings there, enough that you can just about pay for the mail house doing your mailing. And it's much cheaper to send your cards to a commercial address at a mail house. There's tremendous savings on shipping compared to sending multiple shipments to different DDUs, if that's what's required. A mail house takes the job and runs with it. All you have to do is give them your list of zips and zones and routes, and they take it from there. It's really no headache. You can keep on doing what you do best, and that's selling and expanding. And once you get hooked up with the mail house, you can expand to other areas. It's slightly more, 29 cents is the non-local, no entry discounts. It's 29 cents where you're paying 24/7 for retail, and when you're mailing commercially, you get 5 cents total discount between your incentive and your packaging, which is most mail houses should be doing it bundles on pallets, not trays. So that's where your savings come in. So that means that you can mail anywhere for 24 cents, which is less than retail. So, sky's the limit. If you got friends in other towns that you want to get on board, be salespeople, and give them a good cut, you can scale this up quickly to anywhere in the country. So it's good. The consolidation part is good for self-mailers. SCFs are very important for all mailers, especially if you want to mail through a mail house, which I highly recommend. It's nice to have, I know it sounds nice to have a printer do a EDDM Retail mailing and ship it to the DDUs, but that actually adds a lot of cost to the mailing, and you'd be much better off just bulk shipping to a mail house and then let them handle the rest. So I found a new niche. I've been doing with solo mailings. I think it's a great target. I think it has unlimited potential for 9x12 cards. I'm going to talk about that in the next video. Y'all take care.